Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast, Inside Mark's Mind. I'm your host, Mark Rowley. And as always, I'm always excited to get on and do an episode with y'all. I'm starting to talk like I'm a Texan. It's probably because I got one of my best friends on the podcast this week, Jeff Marshall. How you doing?
Doing good. Happy you're saying y'all. I've only been here 4 months. I picked it up as well.
It's because you've been there, and I just drove back from Texas. And I love Texas. Honestly, I said in my last episode, it's like one of my favorite places. It's just that it's flatter than a pancake, and I love the mountains. So that's the only reason why I wouldn't move there. I love the heat, though. I don't mind the heat, but
yeah, that's just the humidity's tough. That's the only tough part.
I know. Out of the 4 months being there, though, like, what has been your favorite thing about Texas?
It's been difficult because of coronavirus. I think I was here like 3 weeks, and we all got put in lockdown. But dude, the barbecue is good. The Tex-Mex is good. I think I've tried every barbecue place out here. I went keto like 3 weeks in, and literally I just went to barbecue every single day. It was sick. I gotta try everything.
Yeah, that is true. You went keto, I'm vegan, but you're not doing keto anymore. You just did it to lose weight, and it seemed like it worked, man. Right?
Dude, 20 pounds. Yeah, it was impressive.
Jeez, that's a lot, man.
I don't know. I had 20 pounds to lose, honestly.
Dang. I know, I didn't even think you'd need to lose that much, but the images, like the before and afters, were actually very shocking. Not gonna lie. I will say that.
Yeah, dude. Those love handles, those back love handles, all gone.
I've never had those, unless they're just like little itty bitty love handles on my little itty bitty body that I just don't see.
Little, you got like the 1% body fat love handles, little.
Exactly.
Skin flaps.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And the cool thing about this episode is that Marshall is completely remote. We're doing it over phone. Marshall is the first one to do it over the phone, so I'm excited. It's kind of cool. He's just called into my little studio. I'm always gonna refer to it as my studio. I mean, it's like this weak, wimpy podcasting setup, but whatever. It looks good. I feel good. And
dude, the bright side is you got all the best products on there, dude. You got everything you needed to. You got the backdrop. You got noise canceling. You got the setup. It's just in your parents' face, and that's the only caveat to it.
No, dude, that's actually a good thing about it is because I got free food upstairs, so I'm all good. No worries. No, I'm just kidding. But hey, on this episode, we're actually going to be talking about. Did I introduce it? I can't remember. Mysteries. We're going to be talking about a bunch of crazy mysteries that are like out there, like, for example, some missing ships. I know Marshall's got a bunch of them. Marshall, do you want to hit us off with one of the crazy mysteries that you came across, or do you want me to begin? Because I think these things are super interesting, don't you think?
Yeah, I got some weird ones. I can start off. This one's called the Phantom Barber. So, the Styles, if you're out there,
Styles,
this could be you.
Styles McConey, you better be listening.
Yeah, you know who you are. Dude, so in 1942, I don't even know how to say this, but it's like Pascagoula, Mississippi. Apparently it was haunted by a man who was coined as the Phantom Barber.
Okay.
And so it was weird. On Monday and Friday nights, under like complete darkness, the man would split open window screens, sneak inside houses, and cut the hair off of sleeping people.
Ew. No, he wouldn't.
So it was like super weird. Like he wasn't like doing anything wrong. Like it's not like he's like molesting anyone or doing anything like weird. He's literally just like cutting their hair.
Ew.
So like giving them like sick fades, like whatever it may be. Yeah. So apparently he had like a weird thing for like blonde girls.
Ew.
And so that was kind of like weird, and it actually just freaked people out. So they were trying to confirm with the police, what's going on. Then eventually there was like some type of mix up where there was like another killer in the same town or something.
Yeah.
And so who assumably they assaulted another couple. And so the police automatically assumed that it was the same guy. And the guy was like, no, dude, like I'm not that barber. And the motive just didn't fit. They're like, the barber only cuts hair. He never attacks people. And then, so there are no other ties like ever found between the assaulter and the Phantom Barber. Ew. And then one day the break-ins just like suddenly stopped. So I think he kind of just got a little freaked out. The thought process is maybe they ran out of blondes in the town for him to cut hair off of. But yeah, dude. So that's one of those ones. It's like, yo, what is this dude all about? You know, it's an interesting one. That was probably one of the weirdest ones I came across so far.
What the heck? That is creepy. I'm actually like chilling in my room right now, and I'm like creeped out. Like I have the goosebumps like crazy right now. Ew, that is so.
Dude, Mark,
gross.
just imagine King Julian, dude, like coming over, man, and be like, Mark, I know you need your beard trimmed up and that fade. Like, let's get that going for you.
If I woke up with just a bald patch in my beard, I'd be mortified. And then King Julian so for those of you who are listening, King Julian is my barber. His name is just Julian, but Marshall had to name him King Julian. Did I tell you I did call him King Julian one time?
No, dude, how do you react to that? You like that, or is he like, dude, you're weird, don't quote Madagascar to me?
He was kind of like, yeah, dude, whatever. And then he like pulled up his razor blade like he was going to cut me. I'm like, all right, bro. Sorry, Julian. It was freaky, bro. I'm telling you. That's gross. I don't like what kind of a sicko just wants to go cut people's hair? Styles?
Dude, I mean, the bright side is it's better than like the other sickos out there, right?
That's true. That is very true. That is way better than going and doing a lot of other things that would be far worse. So cutting people's hair, I'd be much better to encounter that person than somebody else. So, yeah. Anyways, okay, so this kind of makes me think of like somebody that is kind of creepy like that. He didn't do anything bad. I came across him today. His name's Granger Taylor. So Granger Taylor, from the very young age of him, very smart kid. He knew how to build. So at like the age of like 14, he built a 1-cylinder car on his own. So like he just somehow built it, and which was like really cool. It was a fully functioning 1-cylinder car. And then at the age of 17, he rebuilt and fixed a tractor that like tons of engineers, or not engineers, but like mechanics just couldn't solve and like fix. And then he actually went and found a train. It was an abandoned train that was left out in like the forest. It was up in Canada, I believe. And it wasn't working or anything like that. So he took all the parts, went back to his shop, and rebuilt it and got it up and running. So imagine like a massive train engine. He just he fixed it. So this guy is clearly very smart. And then people just started noticing really weird things about him, to where he had drawings of flying saucers, and he was like imagining. Yeah. So this guy was imagining of building a flying saucer. And so he began to talk, I guess, to his parents. And I think he was like mid-30s, older-ish, right in that area, when he was like wanting to build a flying saucer. And then he was telling his parents, or his mom, that he was having talks, like communicating with aliens from like, I don't even know how to like say it, but he was just saying like he was like communicating through their minds to talk to him. And then, so he actually did build a flying saucer, and he needed to know how to make it fly. So he found out through talking to the aliens, supposedly. And then one day, well, you should see, it's kind of creepy because they've got pictures of this flying saucer, and it was like, it had couches. It was like a house. It literally was like the size of a house. And then one day, there was like no way he could transport it either. It was like, I think it was like in the backyard or whatever, or something like that. And then one day he left a note in like the house or whatever, and just said, "Hey, like I've gone off on a 45-year journey to like explore space with aliens." And I'm not kidding you. This is the funniest thing in the world. I've gone off on a 45-year journey to explore space. You can have all my belongings because I don't need them. And then literally vanished like the next morning, like gone.
What?
And the flying saucer was gone too.
What the heck, dude?
Isn't that creepy? Like, so yeah, this guy just claimed he figured out how to like get a flying saucer and take off and go to space because he communicated via the mind, like mega mind, and just go fly and explore space. Isn't that creepy?
Dude, that is creepy.
So yeah,
especially like you said, it's so big. It's not like you can just like move it. You can't transport it.
Yeah, he had he had like big size, like a full living room in there. Like it wasn't just like a tiny little like tin can, like the size of a car. It was like a house.
Dude, we're all living in 2020 and he's living in freaking 3030, man.
I know, dude. I freaking wish I was doing that. But yeah.
That is insane.
That is a really weird one. And I have another one that's like not nearly as weird as that. But like I can get to him later. Because I know like a lot of us know of this one. The flight number MH370. You know what this one is, right? Where it disappeared from
Is this a Malaysia flight?
Yeah, this is a Malaysia flight. And this one's super, I don't know. It's still today. I remember do you remember when it like just disappeared and it was all over the news?
It was like 2014 or something, right? Like it wasn't like it's that long ago, right?
No, yeah, it wasn't that long ago. And it was just weird. I'm like, what the heck? Like, how does a plane in 2014 just disappear, you know? Like, our phones can track us everywhere we go, but a plane the size of a football field is gone, you know?
With what? It was like 239 people or 229 people on board or something like that?
Yeah, so the crew, plus the crew, it was 239 lives that are on board. And 38 minutes after they took off was like the last time that air traffic control was able to track them. But an hour after that, that's where like military was able to track the plane, and then it just vanished. So they were saying apparently that before they lost it from air traffic control is when the pilot switched to just manual flying, and then that's when it like started to go weird, like really weird, vanished. They haven't been able to find anything of it at all still today. So how in the world does a plane again disappear and we can't find it? And they say there are some wreckage parts of it that they found in Madagascar, but it was like a tin. It wasn't even like you could say that was part of the plane. I don't know. It was just really weird. So it's like, how can you claim that to be part of that flight when it was like a piece of metal?
Yeah, it could be any flight from anywhere. Maybe not even a plane.
Right. It didn't even look like it. Yeah, it was just like super weird, and I don't know. There's just interesting stories about it where like they're saying like, oh, it never even happened. Like I came across the thing today and it was like, oh, it never even took off. Like it was try to be like a cover up thing. And I'm like, how is that? Like, no, I don't know. I'm just like blown away by that, you know?
Yeah, dude, they were saying it was like a conspiracy. Like it was either like the U.S. government or like the Malaysian government was like trying to hide something. Like maybe there was someone on that plane that they needed to get rid of or something. It was like weird. Like they're being super weird about it.
Right. Exactly.
And they spent like billions of dollars or something. Like it was like 1.9 billion or something like that to trying to find them.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's 2014, dude. Like, I mean, what? I had an iPhone and in high school and graduated in 2012. Like technology was advanced in 2014, 6 years ago. Right. I don't know. It's weird.
Super creepy. And like the dumbest thing about it is that people are still looking apparently, and they're spending hundreds of like millions of dollars to look for it. But it's like, these are like nonprofit organizations, and it's like, how do they get their money? And they're only paid out if they find like the actual like wreckage and things like that. Like if they go on like Unsolved Mysteries and find it, they only get paid if they find out like the thing. Does that make sense? You know,
dude, let's start a new business.
Go find mystery stuff.
We're gonna find this, dude.
All right, then you can help me find all my missing socks. Please.
I'm telling you, dude, they're either in Jack's stomach or they are